You reach the end of the week, tired, drained, and yet completely unchanged. The days slip into distractions and obligations, and despite all the goals in your head, everything around you stays frustratingly still. If you're like most people, you try to fix this by consuming content. You listen to the podcasts, read the books, take notes, and feel a surge of inspiration. But then nothing actually happens. It's easy to look at that gap between ambition and reality and assume you just lack the talent, or that you need 5 extra hours a day to make real progress. So you wait for a less chaotic season. And while you wait, your goals sit untouched. The real problem lies in how we treat our intentions. We treat them like moods. We wait to feel energized or inspired or ready. But human emotions are unstable. They fluctuate with sleep, stress, and random thoughts. Handing control of your life over to your feelings guarantees failure. Progress requires an internal contract. Every time you tell yourself, "I'll start tomorrow," or negotiate your way out of doing the work because you're tired, you are actively breaching that contract. This diagram maps the hidden damage of that breach. We start with a baseline of self-trust. Every time an intention fails to translate into an action, that baseline breaks down and shrinks. As this loop repeats week after week, your brain learns a dangerous lesson. Your own word carries no weight. The result is a creeping sense of chronic hesitation, where you doubt your plans before you even start them. Chronic procrastination is not a sign of laziness. It's a symptom of a relationship with yourself that has been repeatedly damaged by broken promises. To repair that relationship, you must reframe discipline as a structural agreement. You make the decision to do the work once, sign the agreement when your mind is clear, and when the time comes, you execute. The debate is over. The most effective way to structure this is a strict 60-minute daily constraint. 1 hour is small enough that it bypasses the brain's resistance to massive change, but large enough that, repeated daily, it forces forward momentum. This split screen compares the 2 ways to spend that hour. On the left, we have consumption, reading, planning, researching. It feels safe, but the inputs vanish. On the right, we have output, forging a single solid block and adding it to a structure. Valid output produces a tangible result that didn't exist before. A drafted page, a practiced chord. It doesn't matter if it's messy, as long as it's real. The second rule is to do this work in silence. Do not tell people what you are building. When you share your goals publicly, your brain confuses recognition with achievement, rewarding you with dopamine before the actual work is done. 1 focused hour, driven entirely by tangible output and protected by silence, creates a mechanical system. It conserves your emotional energy and forces forward momentum, regardless of how you feel. But a few weeks into this process, the novelty will wear off. The excitement will disappear, and you will hit a wall of extreme boredom. When this happens, most people assume the system is failing. In reality, boredom is a physiological indicator that your brain has stopped seeking stimulation and entered the repetition phase. Repetition is where real skill is built. This is where internal resistance gets loud. It thrives on all-or-nothing thinking, trying to convince you that if you can't perform at your absolute maximum intensity today, you should just skip it entirely. On those heavy days, you have to lower the bar. You do not need to push harder, you just need to stay in the chair. Success on these days is defined purely by attendance and the refusal to break the agreement. If you maintain that agreement for 6 months, you won't find yourself in a different life overnight. You will still have stressful days and unexpected challenges. Instead, the changes happen in the background. The constant noise of unfinished intentions starts to fade. You no longer carry the guilt of avoiding your goals because you have daily evidence of your own consistency. You stop reacting to the day and start directing it. This graph visualizes how that happens. For months, those tiny, consistent daily inputs look completely flat, but eventually they compound into an exponential upward curve. Keeping that small daily promise restores the self-trust account that we diagnosed as broken earlier. As that trust builds, your internal narrative shifts. You drop the phrase, "I'm trying to be disciplined," and you start realizing, "I am disciplined." This identity shift means discipline stops feeling like an exhausting daily exercise in willpower. It simply becomes your default behavior. True personal freedom is not found in a massive life overhaul. It's found in the quiet, non-negotiable decision to keep one simple promise to yourself, 1 hour at a time. Drop a comment below with your thoughts, hit subscribe, and share this video to make sure you see the next installment.